Ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome to the Roundtable discussion on Republic TV. I am your host, Gabriel Nanakosioche. Today, we would do as we do usually, go over the news, read tidbits from our media houses, and have discussions. Also in the house today, I have with me persons, a gentleman from the NDC, and another gentleman who, on his own, had gone to investigate Galamsey issues for his own understanding of the issues affecting our motherland. And as I promised, I brought him to the studio. We'll be delving into a lot of hot topics. And as time may permit us, we would find out and learn more today. On the front pages of our dailies today, we start with the Daily Searchlight. On the front page of the Daily Searchlight, we have minority demands head of Russian Sam George, with the Russian in quote. Also on the front page, it has 2026 flag bearer race. Ashanti MPP youth organizers back Brian Echampon. Also on the front page of the News Center, finance rigged against Africa. Nana Akufo-Addo slams global system trapping continent in unsustainable debt. On the front page of the Daily Guide, it has apologized and resigned minority to Sam George. 7 killed in collapsed Galamsey pit. Also on the front page of the Daily Statesman, we have $1 trillion African debt, moral indictment by Akufo-Addo. Minority slams Sam George, resign unfit for position. Boache Ejako urges MPP to end infighting. Also on the front page of the Daybreak, Akufo-Addo is trending again. It says, Akufo-Addo slams global finance over Africa's $1 trillion debt. Galamsey has reduced under Mahama, according to the Doma chief. The Chronicle, on the front page of the Chronicle, we have the Doma chief, Galamsey is going down. No need for state of emergency. Mahama targets sweeping judicial reforms. The Daily Banner, on the front page of the Daily Banner, 6 dead in Galamsey pit. Sam George under fire. Akufo-Addo renews calls for African debt cancellations. Says justice delayed is justice denied. On the front page of the National Voice, we have Africa's $1 trillion debt burden is built to bind us. Akufo-Addo warns at EU summit. The Source, on the front page of The Source, DSTV saga, sack Sam George, minority demands. Mahama petition to remove Kulindi. Demo, nurses demand 10 months unpaid salaries. Debt restructuring was a dark cloud. Akufo-Addo. Also, on the front page of the Ghanaian Point, we have President Mahama to meet CSOs over Galamsey crisis today. You are unfit. Apologize and resign. Minority goals for Sam George. He is our own. Over 500 Ashanti youth endorses Brian Echampon for MPP 2028 flag bearer. Concrete actions now. Public expectation on president's meeting with CSOs over Galamsey. This is on the front page of the Ghanaian Times. On the front page of the Metro Lens, it has iniquity, not economics. Nana Addo slams punitive interest rates for African borrowers. And on the front page of the Custodian, it says, sack Sam George over DSTV impasse. Akufo-Addo seeks $1 trillion debt relief for Africa. Tano North MCE denies complicity in Galamsey operations. Nurses, midwives protest over 10 months salary arrears. Over on the 2nd of October, Nana Akufo-Addo was in Brussels at the EU-AU meeting or EU-AU summit. At the EU-AU summit, Akufo-Addo spoke about how most African countries spend more money in paying interest on debts annually than they do pay or subscribe to health infrastructure, paying doctors, paying teachers here in Africa. Akufo-Addo says that these interest rates are punitive ones on us to make us suffer and bind us and deny us the chance to grow. He feels that these are shackles around our neck that should be restructured and reconsidered all over again. He's saying that Africa has suffered a lot, lost so much to the first world countries, and he believes that first world countries need to give Africa a debt relief so we can all start over. He was speaking to delegates from various countries. This man has been on this tangent for a very long time, and one would say that even as president, Akufo-Addo consistently requested for reparations and debt reliefs. The opposition then when Akufo-Addo was in power, made mockery of these requests and demands that he made. They called him a begging president and all. It is not of no surprise that recently at the UNGA summit, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, President of Ghana, also requested for reparations to be made to us and also asked that the ordinary development assistance that we receive here in Africa has reduced by some 40%, whilst some countries are investing over 100% more in their military budgets, when Africa actually needs support and assistance. I think that it is becoming clear as the days go by that indeed we are realizing that Akufo-Addo was not a beggar, but he was requesting for what he feels or knows and has come to understand would help our country to move forward, would help Africa as a whole to move forward. And as the Nkrumahist, I was expecting for them to actually support that narrative. But as you know, this is the only socialist group who go to IMF for loans. This is the only socialist group who go to Japan for grants, you know. They are a socialist group who are always following World Bank. So it is no surprise that they say one thing with the left side of their mouth and another with their right. Today, I will not be taking all the time and I will not be speaking alone. As I said, I have people of interest that I have brought in here. I have brought in a gentleman by name Philip. Philip has an experience by going in to investigate Galamsey issues. And so I would like to invite Philip so we do not spend so much time talking about the headlines without him, because most of the headlines either talk about Akufo-Addo or they talk about Galamsey issues here in Ghana, alongside Sam George's embarrassing situation that he has caused for himself and the state at large. Hi, Mr. Philip. Welcome to the Roundtable discussion. Anyways.
Thank you.
Mr. Philip is... introduce yourself.
Thank you. I'm in the person of Philip Ansabento from Ekumfi Abor, a proud native of Ekumfi Abor, also a student of University of Ghana as well.
All right. So, Mr. Philip, the viewers would like to know from you what exactly is your main stake in this whole Galamsey conversation, for which reason I introduced you. What actually brought you into this whole Galamsey Buha? What's it?
I was having an idea of going on the field and then experience how life is being going on over there, and also how is it destroying not only the lands and then the water's bodies, but also the life of the youth as well as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I went to the field for about 3 weeks. I spent 3 weeks on the field, and I was doing day and night work. In fact, there was a lot. Yeah, I'll say that way. There was a lot.
A lot happened in 21 days?
Yes, a lot. I saw a lot. Even people dying and other stuff. with my eye.
So if I'm supposed to manage the conversation, I would want to ask you right from the top. Do you mind mentioning the area, or for security reasons you don't want to say them?
Oh, as for the area there, I would like to mention.
Okay, so what's the area?
That's Wasa Dadieso.
Okay.
Yeah, it's close to Wasa Japan. After Wasa Dadieso, then I think it's a 3 cities transportation distance.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And were your people mining in water or in a forest reserve?
No, in water.
In water.
In that area, they have those who mine in the water aspect, and then those who are in the forest reserve as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, I mean, what really shocked me is the death that you just mentioned.
Yeah.
In 3 weeks, how many people died?
Okay. What I saw was 3 in front. That was with my eye, but the rest you will just hear from other.
Before we go into what you just saw, you just said there are others you heard.
Yeah.
How many times did you hear that?
That one about twice. Yeah.
So in a nutshell, if we are putting all that together, we are saying 5 people died in 21 days.
Yes.
That's at least 1 in every 4 days.
Yes. Yeah.
And with the people that you saw, can you tell me how they died? How did they die?
Okay. The one I saw, I would like to say one was overdose, the drug abuse. He was drug addictive, and he took the drugs. That's the tramadol with this red thing, mixed it with energy drink.
Mm-hmm.
So he drank it. That's what he's been drinking, and then I keep on asking him, man, so how does this work? And he was like, oh, it gives me extra strength for the work. So when you are overdosing, the medication itself takes control on you. So it took control on him, and then he just fell on the machine, and then the fan belt of the machine just cuts. I think
It was on the conveyor belt.
Yeah. So
It cut him in the face.
Yes, and then he.
So did they report to his family, his wife, or his sibling?
No, nobody even came there. Nobody, not even a brother, not even a sister.
So what did they do to his body? To the morgue? They had a funeral?
No, they just buried him there. That's all.
There on the Galamsey?
Yes. On the Galamsey site. And then what I even heard the people there on the site were saying that, this one crown, our money will come, the gold will be coming. You see that kind of things, So it means some of them are meant for rituals, that no matter what on the site, somebody must die.
So you are saying that this gentleman who died on the conveyor belt,
yeah,
there was no funeral for him?
No,
family doesn't know where he is. So as of today, his family may think he's missing, or he's traveled without informing them,
something like,
and living his life somewhere else across the border.
Yeah.
So now the next question is, so you've mentioned 1. Can you tell me about the 2 before we go on?
Okay, the other one was in the pit. So that one the next day we went for night. So we didn't even see the guy around. The only thing we saw the next day was he was in the pit. He's dead.
What they do to that one?
As for that one, the guys took him away.
Because his family, is it because he's from the community?
Yes. So
the one who died earlier, was he from the community?
No. Do I have to mention the region?
No, I mean,
Okay, so he's from some part of the region.
Some part of the country, or the same region?
The country here,
Not
the same region.
Right. And then the third person, I want us to.
As for the third person, there was this kind of connection. They do connection over there, Sometimes I must take some part of this gold and then try to have Charlie, let's go and sell and that kind of things, So they called the guy, and then he was beaten to death. That one. That's how they even.
That's how they solve their problem.
Yeah, they even cut some parts of you. That one, they ask for that one there. When you do connection and they catch you, then forget.
No police reports.
No.
So it's just jungle justice.
No, you will not survive. They will just finish you.
So you're saying that they killed that guy?
No, he was beaten to death. Yes.
And what did they do to him? They buried him there too.
As for him, they called a brother, and then he told them that he was on his way coming. So I left that field because of what was going on. I was afraid. So I left even that site that very day that they.
That was your last day on the
That was my last day on that particular site, and I went to another site. So I was jumping from site to site
in 3 weeks.
in 3 weeks.
So
Yeah.
So what you're telling us today is that in a space of 21 days, you witnessed as much as 5 people die.
Yes, yes.
I mean, you knew of 5 people dying and witnessed 3 deaths yourself.
Yeah, myself.
And one was mob justice.
Yes.
One fell into the pit.
Yeah.
And another drug abuse caused him to fall onto the conveyor belt
Exactly.
that was cut into pieces.
Yes.
And they did not inform the family
As for
because
him,
he's not from here.
if not from around, I think it's far from the region. So, and that those particular people, and there are many.
Today, we are reading that the Doma chief is insisting that Galamsey has reduced under John Mahama. But I have a news article from Ghana Environment. And the headline says, Galamsey Task Force arrests 3 persons in major crackdown. September 15th, 2025. That's about some 21 days ago. And it was led by the Doma chief. This is someone who, in the year prior, he said that Galamsey never existed in his constituency or his home region where he's chief. And today, in 2025, he's arresting Galamseyers. Is that to say, or is that to suggest that the menace is growing bigger and bigger than we assumed?
Okay, with this one, I would like to say it's going bigger rather, because I remember even when ahead of Galamsey, it wasn't all that serious. I was somewhere around in class 3 or so. So I was staying with my grandpa some parts.
But do you think between last year and this year, there's been a reduction in Galamsey? Looking at the problems we have faced.
Last year and this year, there hasn't been any reduction in Galamsey. I will say that, because based on my experience, I can see that it's now expanding rather.
And I want to ask you another. My last question. The president says that he's meeting CSOs. Some are saying that he emboldened people to go into Galamsey. And so there's no need to meet CSOs to ask them how we can end the Galamsey. But rather, he should rather meet the Galamseyers to tell them that he's bringing it to an end and that he's giving them an ultimatum. If they do not end it, he will come in with the military to do shoot and kill. Which one do you support?
But with this one, I prefer him meeting the Galamseyers rather. And sometimes, meeting the CSOs, it won't bring any further solution to the major problem. But the person who is causing the problem himself, meet him, talk to him, let him understand that if you are not stopping what you think that is causing harm to the whole nation, then I will take action, so that my action won't be something like I'm being autocratic. You understand?
Okay. So my final question, last but not the least, do you have a challenge with the president saying that it is true that Galamsey that we are making so much money and that we cannot just decide to end Galamsey just because some people are destroying our waters, but then we need the money? What do you have to say to the president based on that statement?
Based on that, I would like to say it wasn't a good idea of we thinking that we are getting money from it, even though we can get the money, but we still use that money to buy water we would drink.
And so for people who are asking the president and his party in power that what are they doing about all the requests and demands they made to the previous government? Why are they not putting it forward? Like the allies that have to be repealed with regards to mining in the forest, state of an emergency, all of that. What do you think is the challenge. Do you think the president is complicit, or his party is complicit, or people close to him?
I would think it's the whole party. Yeah.
The whole party.
Yeah, the whole party.
And so you think it's making it difficult for the president to make a decision?
Exactly. Before this current government, look at the way they were putting pressure on the previous government on Galamsey, do this, do that. So I was asking myself, now you are in power. So why can't you apply those solutions that you were giving to the previous government? Why can't you apply? Now you have the thing in your hand. So apply it, and then let's use it and see if.
I remember Sam George said that the president or the man who's been mandated to rule over our country can end Galamsey in 2 weeks. It's been 10 months since they came into power. Do you think the president has failed?
With that one, I'll say yes, because if you have been given the mandate and you think that the person can use just 2 weeks to end the whole thing, and then now you've been given the mandate to, and then us at 10 months now, you haven't even, let me say, not even 30% of it is being done. That will show that, oh, now they are working towards of ending the Galamsey. No.
Mr. Philip, it was nice meeting you. I would invite you one more time, and I'll take your videos, and we'll spend a whole 30 minutes. We'll go through your videos and picture evidence with the viewers. I know it will be gory, but we'll show them.
All right.
All right. So we'll speak more soon. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. All right.
Now I have with me Mr. Joseph Fossen, a member of the NDC team in the University of Ghana, and a stand supporter of the NDC. Mr. Joseph, how are you doing? We're not here for a debate. Not the usual debate. We are here for a conversation. I just want to know from you, what exactly would you say are the achievements of the NDC government in the last 10 months?
Okay, thank you so much. And I want to say a big thank you to my viewers. And I want to say a big thank you too for inviting me for
Right.
It's a great platform.
Yeah.
And also, you just asked about in 10 months what my government have done so far. They have done a lot that when I want to say it right now, maybe it will take a lot of time. That maybe the credit cannot even. We cannot.
I like where you're going. So I'll give you 2 questions then. First of all, the Galamsey was one of the reasons why Ghanaians ousted out the Akufo-Addo government. Number 2, the economy. What do you have to say on Galamsey? Is it better now?
I will not just conclude saying that Galamsey is better because my government is in power. But other than say, I would say my government is really working towards it. They are really working. We can recently that the government have seized a lot of pumping machines, and this pumping machine was not banned like the way the previous government banned the pumping machines. This pumping machine, when they were seized, was given to farmers to be used.
Does that stop Galamsey?
That not stop Galamsey. I'm just building a point. An excavator that was seized last year's previous government that was banned. Some was lost. It didn't find where they are up to now. These excavators that are seized are not banned, and nobody can bring an account that these excavators are seized. But let's come to the point of Galamsey.
But just not to cut it short. Hannah Bisu said she seized over 100 excavators and they all went missing. Hannah Bisu. She said she seized as much as 100 excavators and they all went missing. Your government in the last 1 month has gone around banning excavators.
Excavators? I have not seen any banned.
Well,
what I saw was banned was Champa.
They've banned excavators.
I have not seen excavators.
Okay, you haven't seen
excavators. I have
excavators.
not seen excavators.
Okay.
What I've seen that they have been banned recently, I saw they banned was Champas. And on the river water, that even when they get there, the miners run away. So that I saw the military people burning the Champa. But I have not seen
excavators being banned.
Any excavators being banned.
So it will be hard for you to say your government hasn't done well or not.
That mean to say. And also, when it comes to the Galamsey issue, when we narrow the situation to say the government is not working, I disagree because the Galamsey issue come across the whole country, and it's not only the government in power. Even though we know the government is the one ruling, but there are other people who are also not part of the government also are working. Do you get me? So, for instance,
Was that the case in the previous year where people who were not in
Let-
the
let-
government also doing galamsey?
the people in the previous
Yeah.
it's the same trend. That's why I'm
So why do you
saying,
think
I've
people that has
I've seen several times that Galamsey should not be
politicized?
politicized.
Well, but that was an advantage to your government. You had people like Sam George say it could be done in 2 weeks. Does that mean your government has failed according to Sam George's standards?
My government have not failed.
So Sam George was just speaking anyhow.
Sam
Sam George, your loose talker.
Sam George, I will not say Sam George is a loose talker. When I know that I say my
When he said,
when I say my minister is a loose talker, that might be disrespected.
but I'm asking you that if he said it could be done in 2 weeks, and based on that, Ghanaians gave him power, and in 10 months it couldn't be done.
I
Did he
didn't see,
speak-
or I didn't know the view, the lenses that he was saying that.
So you are saying that
Yeah, the
Mahama, he went on.
the
President Mahama went on to appoint him as a minister when he lacks the focal view to
no,
eat it
not say
correctly.
no. I'm not saying it's not. He didn't see correctly
Maybe that's the case why we have this Buhari with DSTV.
at that time. At that time of the Galamsey issue, maybe he was seeing the lenses that think that at that time, in 2 weeks' time or 3 weeks' time, Galamsey can be stopped.
Why didn't they stop it in NDC Part 1?
Do you get me? In this time, to when it came to power, we can't.
The dynamics are
We
changed.
can't deny the fact that most of the water body that we are seeing being damaged today started from 2024.
Starting from 2024.
24. Most
Have you seen the Al Jazeera?
no,
I want to ask you a simple question. Just one person.
let me conclude. Okay, did you see the journalist Erastus Asari reportedly make a bold statement in an interview? Say that he's the one who have most of the time carried the Galamsey.
Yeah.
Make a statement say that most of the water bodies that are being seen today being damaged didn't start this year.
And did he say also
Mhm.
that every single water body in Ghana started getting destroyed under the Akufo-Addo
He
government?
didn't say that.
So I will ask a simple question.
Since
When it was minimums, when it was the barest minimum, why didn't Sam George give out his intellect to President Mahama then in 2016 to solve Galamsey?
No, can you compare the 2016 Galamsey time to this time?
So when it was easier, why didn't he stop it in 2 weeks?
Why didn't he start? They left in power.
They left.
They left power in 20.
There's an Al Jazeera documentary of Galamsey in Ghana in 2011. It took 5 years for NDC to do power after that. Why didn't you solve Galamsey when it was at this barest minimum or earlier stage?
We are putting NDC put a lot of measures in place in 2016.
So I want to ask you
Before we left in power,
and then they didn't solve Galamsey.
we gave power to the previous government.
Should I give you?
But-
Should I point to you?
The only thing that we saw in the media that excavated was some got missing. Let me build a point. When you talk about Galamsey issue, I'll always have issue with the commissioners that give the license to the miners, because a small scale miner cannot be given a prospective license to mine, which is not possible, because small scale miner must is the land a small scale miner need is just 25 acres. So imagine a small scale miner is giving prospective licenses to go to the forest, and there's not a proper check whether the person who is mining, they have experience, they have engineering that can mine properly in our forest. And secondly, the people that are giving the licenses to, I can boldly say, they are also causing the problem to the government. It's not, they didn't do that I will not say because I'm NDC, because they did the same thing to the previous government. They are making the work difficult to fight Galamsey. So we can't blame one government and the government cannot fight Galamsey.
But my question is,
because if the people that have the lances, after they work on the land, sell the same pits to illegal miners, the chief that gave the land, to the people that have the lances, are still selling the same land. And this one, I have someone who told me.
So in a nutshell, I want to ask a simple question. Do you blame the Akufo-Addo government for giving so much licenses to people to mine? Or do you blame chiefs or security apparatuses that allowed people who were not registered to go onto those same lands to mine? Who do you
Yes,
blame?
I will speak in twofold. I will speak in twofold. You know, most of when you come to small scale mine now, the president does not give the licenses on them. He come to the minister that give you the licenses. So some of the licenses can be given out to the president that we don't know anything about it.
Mhm.
Do you get me? So I'll say some of the licenses are given to unprofessionals
How do you determine who are non-professionals?
who is on a some, if for instance in politics, maybe the
Because the reason why I ask this question is I have a driver's license because I've gone to a driving school and qualified. When I want to renew my license, I would have to go do an eye test and certain things need to be achieved. If I do not meet the KPIs, I'm not allowed to drive again. If I go for, let's say, an import license to import certain stuff, or I go for a gun license, annually I need to go and renew it. There are certain things they need to see and then allow me to go ahead. The only reason why I'll be banned from using my gun that I have license for is because I did the wrong thing. The only reason why I'll be banned from driving is because I did the wrong turn, the wrong driving, had an accident, drunk driving, any of that, infractions on my license. Now, people are given licenses so they can be monitored. When they renew it, you can actually trace and find out what is happening. So is licensing the problem?
in another fact, I would say the licenses can be also a problem because in a way maybe they are giving the licenses. That's what I'm saying. Sir. Maybe it can be like maybe if this person is in my party and the person maybe have the financial stable to get the equipment for the money, even though the person is not qualified, the land commission can give because the person is
What exactly is the qualification for somebody who wants to go into mining?
um
Apart from having the machines, having the engineers to work with, what else?
the person must have the all the equipment which can be
So if you have the
mined,
equipment, what else?
equipment. And when for instance the large scale miner like this, when they come, they have to have like at least I think $50 million.
So it's not just about the money.
So it's not
I'm
about
saying,
the money.
what makes you keep your land safe? Now, I think I'm pushing you too much to the corner of the galaxy
No,
because you
no.
can't survive it because Ghanaians have realized that you took them for a ride. Right. Thank you so much for coming. We'll speak more soon.
Right.
I'll be inviting you over.
I'll be.
And next time, come prepared.
I will come prepare one and
Yesterday, the Ashanti regional youth came together, over 500 of them, declared their support as delegates for Dr. Brian Champon. The news has taken wave and everybody is surprised about how Dr. Brian Champon is not everywhere, not building huge platforms and huge stages, getting all influencers to his side and paying for communicators on social media, but yet he's been able to get into the hearts of these people. The reason why he's called a strategist is because of this. He knows what his people want. He knows what his people need. He sits with them to understand them, preaches unity to them, tells them how decisive he is, tells them how disciplined he is, and tells them how determined he is. His focus and his movement is simple. Unite the base, bring all factions together, galvanize those who need to be, put incentives where it needs to go, make the youth and the women's wing comfortable. Let them understand the ideologies of the new patriotic party. Give them the hope that they need so they can actually work out of love and not out of inducement. You know, as a TESCOM member, our motto is simple: commitment without inducement. We expect every single party member to be committed without inducement. This can only happen when it is the favorite or a candidate that they trust and believe in. I saw a video of Dr. Brian Champon going for a walk in his home constituency, and many are asking if he was going for that walk to woo in candidates. That is who the man Brian Champon is. He has been doing this and lives by that in his constituency. He walks amongst the people. He is accessible. He relates with the people. They know him personally, and I'll borrow the words of Pakosi Indum. They feel him, they touch him, and they love him. Dr. Brian Acheampong is a man of the people, a man of his words, a military-trained person, a younger person in this race, and he is for the youth, he is for technology, he is for digitalization, he is for infrastructure, and on his heart is education and health. Brian Acheampong, the man for the job. I'm so impressed to see how he has strategically been able to move numbers to his side without inducement, without saying so much, without denigrating any other candidate, and how he's been able to control his camp and members that we don't, or they don't sit on TV, denigrate any other candidates, speak evil, speak ill of people. We do not have party chairmen in our pockets, so they will go around promising that they can skew albums in his favor. We don't have national executives. We don't have organizers. We don't have anybody, but we have delegates. The party belongs to the grassroots. And we are so happy that the grassroots have found favor, have given him that chance, have decided that they are going to go with the man with the experience. They are not looking for Matra Makwa with a bicycle. Where nipa on one kasa. As a private businessman, why you be amayehu? Therefore, Brian Acheampong semen kancha mu say, "Neni so, mwahu de moye, mwahu nkranhye so amoma no. Osese mo bom paya, mumbo bima no." Once again, we come to the end of the roundtable discussion on Republic TV. I was your host, Gabriel Nanakosi. My guests with me today were able to give us insight on a lot of things. We're also able to find out the weakness and the failures of this government with guests that came over. We're also reminding Ghanaians that now it's become difficult for persons who were first against Galamsey so much, now saying that it has reduced, even though it hasn't. The ball is in your court. Judge for yourself, Ghanaians. Thank you for making a date with me. Bye-bye.